Alright guys, welcome to today's video. I'm J-Mac and this is Raid Shadow Legends. First off, I got a new green screen, so I'm still working on tweaking it and getting all the values set in it right. So let me know how it looks. Today I want to talk about one of my favorite champions in the game, and it is Thenasil. He is a high elf epic support champion. I was lucky enough to get him very early on in the game. He was the first epic I pulled from a shard. And like most champions I got early on, I had him built totally wrong. But before I get into that, let's look at what this guy is bringing to the table. So for his A1, single target, chance of placing sleep debuff. It's alright. It'd be a lot cooler if it was a AoE. His A2 is his best ability, and this is where this dude shines. Places a 60% increased debuff on all allies. Places a 60% increased defense buff, not a debuff, on all allies for 2 turns, and then heals all allies by 25% of this champion's max P. Now, once I figured out what the skill was doing and reworked his gear and masteries, this dude is a healing machine. So he helped me a lot in the early game and early mid game. I'm nowhere close to being an in-game player, but I am mid game. I still use him in a few places just for this ability right here. And then his A3 AoE decreased the duration of all enemy buffs by 1 turn. Then his aura is a increased ally resist in dungeons by 70. That came in handy for me going through some spider levels of keeping poisons off my team. But I'll show you where he is geared. And if I can get to the right page, quit spamming me. Alright. He is right here. Now the key with this dude is building with as much HP as you can. Accuracy isn't really that big of a deal because the sleep he's putting on, chances are someone else you have on your team is going to do an AoE hit and wake the person up. So sleep debuff isn't really a priority. For him, I went with speed boots, and then I got an HP chest, HP gloves. I could rework his gear to get him a lot more HP, but the only place I use him anymore is in the tag team arena. And the reason why I use him there is for the clan quests of place 200 increase defense buffs on allies. Excuse me. And so, I got him on one team and Iron Brago on another team. So each run I do gives me 8 of those out of the 200. So I can knock that out pretty quick. And like I said, since that's the only place I use him, I don't want to spend a ton of silver reworking his gear, trying to get him up to as high as HP as I can, because it's just not worth it to keep investing in him when he's kind of ran out what he does on my account. Now, he was the first epic that I pulled from a shard, and I was using him because I thought he looked cool. I didn't really care much about his kit, and I didn't realize the healing that he was doing until I'd had him for a few months. And what had happened was I had Shiramani as my first Lego pull, and I saw that she had healing in her kit for the rejuvenating wave. So she was my main healer. And at some point, I was going through dungeons, and I happened to compare the healing that her and Thenasil were doing, and Thenasil kicked her butt on heals. So I reread his kit, finally figured out that he's not an attack champion because I had his Masteries attack. I probably had an attack chest, and I bet crit rate gloves on him. So once I built his HP as much as I could with the gear that I had, he became an insane healer for my account, and he really helped me through a lot of tough areas early on. So just to kind of give a comparison, I don't want to buy that. Let's go into Dragon 20. And normally this run, like I said, not in game yet. These take me about 2.5 minutes to run through. In his place, I usually have Seer here. But just to kind of give a comparison of Cardial, who I have in Relentless, so he is healing like crazy throughout the whole run. I will play this through, and I'll just play a little bit through the first wave, and then so you don't have to sit and watch the entire run. I'll come back when I've got the dragon almost dead. But he goes up with his increased defense, and then of course the shield of Valkyrie places. I don't lose any HP in the first couple of runs. But like I said, his heal is just insane. But I'll let this play through, and then I'll come back in just a minute with you guys. So I got done with my video and realized that I did not go over any masteries, which, as you can see, I have been very lazy and I don't even have all of Thenasil's masteries. One of these days, I'll go back and get that done. The main thing with him is obviously his healing. Got the lay on hands, increased value of the heals, and continue to increase the value of the heals. One thing you will definitely want to get is the lasting gifts. 30% chance to increase duration of any buff cast by this champion by 1 turn. So if you can get his increased defense buff to go 3 turns instead of 2, that is huge. And then defense, you just want to give him more viability, more HP, more survivability, so that he won't go down as easy. So I just wanted to come back and hit the masteries real quick since I forgot about them. Alright, we are about done with Dragon, and 7 minutes into it, feel kind of bad because my man actually let me down. You'll notice that Ninja is no longer with us. He went down in the second wave, so I don't know what Ninja did to piss off Thenasil and Cardial, but they did not want to keep him alive. But I could have edited this and just did a different run, but I wanted to show that even losing Ninja and having crap DPS, between his heals, his increased defense, he can still keep a team alive, and he can do a lot. So his heals, 1.2 million on that run. The other runs I did before, it was around 800k. So obviously, the longer the fight goes on, the more healing he's going to do. But I think this kind of gave a good ground run of what he's capable of. And obviously, you get him geared better. I don't have him in great gear. You get him geared better, he can do a lot more for your team. But definitely, if you get Thenasil early on, and even in the mid game, he is totally worth investing in for gear and the books on his A2. Because like I said, he's one of my favorite champions. He helped me out a ton, and he'll always have a place on my account. And hopefully, maybe they'll give him another little buff on some of his, like his A1, and make it to an AoE. I doubt it, but it'd be cool to use him in other places of the game. Anyways, thank you guys for watching till the end, and I hope you all have a blessed day. Thank you. Bye.